Had a little too much coffee and was out sick for the first bit of the day.
We decided to meet up and go see the magistrate. While on the way there, Basil revealed to the group kind of his intel about Magistrate Gregor, that he's a little bit of a shady individual. He might be asking for a little bit, some favors to get what we want. So we met with him and somehow convinced him that if we help him out with some local thieving crimes, that he might be able to expedite our case to speak with the council. While leaving, we got his official seal, like his paperwork, so we can kind of show our badge, like over here on official business with the magistrate. And we messed up his office. I remember that.
We shuffled papers around. It was exquisite.
Then we made our way to the first of the two thieving locations, which was some like fancy tavern, which the name was, does anyone remember?
I think I have it in my notes.
There were two. The fancy one.
Stardust Lounge.
One second.
It was the Hopping Stump.
The Hopping Stump.
The Hopping Stump was the second one.
No, so I've got Humping Stop in my notes.
Of course you do.
What was the first one with
and then the Crooked Roots.
Yeah.
Crooked Roots was the second location. The Hopping Stump was the first.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So while there, we chatted with the owner, Kerrigan.
Kariga?
Yeah,
Kariga.
Infected Kerrigan?
Exactly. But we chatted with Kariga, very energetic, jolly fella who likes to talk over you when you try and talk. But we learned that there was some people have been pickpocketed at his establishment. Either him or someone in his team caught a gerbil at one point stealing. Nothing like other than they just saw a gerbil who ran off, and told us to go talk to Delilah and Charlotte at the second location. While there, we all started to do karaoke.
I did not.
Yes.
Mrs. Q did not partake.
Dace sang tequila.
Very poorly.
Yes, I sang.
I thought I heard that last week or 2 weeks ago.
I sang that song like "War, what is it good for?" But like just a little bit better than Dace. And then Cam stole the show with his like heartfelt like ballad. Everyone was in tears and like cheering his name, Cam.
And we discovered Cam had stage fright.
Yeah.
We made our way to the second location where one of the Delilah and Charlotte are like the owners of this place. It's like a tavern slash I guess
it's a public house,
yeah.
Right? It's an inn and tavern.
Yeah, so they were served Charlotte's big musk ox behind the bar. Delilah is like the server. We like chat with them saying like, oh, we're sent by the magistrate to investigate these cases, and we're here to help. We get the sense that Delilah's hiding something and that she's super fidgety, or just anxious. We persuade her that you can trust us, we can definitely help you, and we stick around long enough for all the patrons to leave and for Cam to get drunk.
Didn't take much. It was a really bad concert.
Oof.
Yeah.
He's a small guy.
He's a small guy.
Yeah. Cam's first taste of alcohol didn't Didn't pan out too
I'm like
well.
every 19-year-old's first
Yeah.
taste of
I
alcohol.
was gonna say, how old is Cam again? I can't remember.
He's young. TBD.
Sounds about right.
TBD.
While there, I believe it was Cam pickpocketed Delilah, found a keychain of a small little German with the name solely embroidered on it. We started noticing some things within the bar, like we noticed some like crayons and things like that. And then at the very end of the night, we're the last ones there. We like the shtick is up, like what's going on, and then we find out that they've been essentially taking care of like orphan German kids. Thomas solely, I can't remember the other two, but they're siblings, and they were the ones who were pickpocketing because they wanted food. And we somehow convinced them to take care of the kids, stay out of trouble. And Sir Basil, and they told us about something going on in the under something.
There's a monster.
Yes.
In the underfall.
Ooh.
In the underfall, that like they've lost friends and people to this monster. I think we said that we might check it out. And then before leaving, Sir Basil told them a bedtime story of like a small German knight. And then Thomas was all like, "Oh, this is amazing." Yeah.
There were bubbles.
Yes, I use bubbles.
There were bubbles.
There were bubbles?
There were
Lots of bubbles.
Wow, you guys did all that in one day?
That was very thorough. Plus, there was shopping in the morning. So this is now like midnight.
Oh, you guys went shopping? What did you get me?
You were there.
Yeah, but I wasn't there.
No, this is all one day.
Oh, okay,
like
no,
the
I was
shopping
there.
episode and this episode is all one day. Like it's midnight of the first day
Gotcha.
you've been here in Alderheart. You guys are just going for it. But yeah, we can pick up right as you guys are all being ushered out of the Crooked Roots by Delilah, and you hear the door slam and lock behind you. The lights kind of go out almost immediately in the main tavern room itself. You're out on the street with these arcane lanterns, not a fire, kind of like fireflies just lighting the way. And as you exit, you meet up with very familiar Apoc, who's coming running down the street, very out of breath, but also very, very giddy, as Apoc has joined you.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
Maybe Sir Basil's like trying to hold Cam up.
Yeah, Cam fell asleep during your story, so.
Buddy.
What happened?
Nothing. We're just solving crime.
I
Mystery.
just grab what's his name? Camembert from the other shoulder, and I just help
What's
out.
his name?
It's been a bit. So, I mean, I assume you guys just recapped all that to me.
Yeah.
So did we go tell the magistrate that we found the thieves? Or you guys found the thieves?
I suppose we'll have to tell him eventually if we ever want to get in front of the council.
What's the plan?
Well, I don't think Cam is up for any monster hunting this evening.
I'm ready to
We
go.
go rest it off?
Oh, I'm ready to go.
Yeah, you take him, buddy?
I'm a willing, able participant.
Put up your fist. Let's see what you got.
Willing, able participant. You can call me WAP.
I imagine him like he lets go of us, puts up his fist, and then slowly just like falls back.
Just a little bit woozy.
Sir Basil says to the group, I know we need to report to the magistrate, but I feel like we need to protect Delilah, Charlotte, Thomas, and the kids.
I agree. I think what we can do is tell him that the situation is resolved. As we promised, he said that we could use whatever methods we chose and we chose this method, and I don't think we have anything to justify.
Are they gonna stop stealing?
I think so.
Did you give them gold or anything?
Just some encouragement and inspiration.
Can you buy food with encouragement? I
take-
know if I was there, I probably would have given him a piece of gold or something. I would have held him off for like a month.
I take a swing at Dace.
Go for it. Make an attack roll.
That's a
Make
3.
an attack roll at advantage because I'm not expecting it.
That's a 3. And then with advantage, that's a 12. So yeah, no, I'm good.
Yeah, he'll just like the hold your head kind of situation as you.
I feel like I punched away from him. It's like,
Oh, there you go. Even better.
okay.
Hey, Cam, maybe this will help. And I just pull out the bottle of boundless coffee and I offer it to Cam and Bear. This might refresh you a bit.
Oh no, uppers and downers.
I
Do you take a drink?
Oh yeah.
All right, roll a d20.
Oh my gosh.
Just a straight D20.
Yeah, it's just straight d20.
Oh, nat 20.
Oh boy.
And it just means we can keep drinking from it afterwards. So.
Love it.
What a roll to have a nat 20 on.
Yeah.
There you go.
Right, that'll keep you on your feet for another hour or so.
All right, let's go. Willing and able.
Do you want to wait? Should we fight this now, or do you think you're good?
I'm ready to go. Fuck, let's do this.
How do you guys feel?
What's the plan, guys?
What do you think, Mrs. Q?
Sorry. What's the question?
Sorry, she's dealing with the dog.
Okay.
Do we just go for action, or do we like to investigate the underfall, or do we like chill for the night? Cam has just taken like an unlimited coffee potion.
Just a swing, I think.
Yeah,
I don't know if he was chugging it back.
he's good to go.
Is he a head?
Red eye espresso.
Is he a liability or is he an asset?
Good question. Is he a liability or is he an asset?
Always a liability.
I'm gonna just let it ride for now.
How is everyone HP wise?
Max, feeling my healthiest.
I got a
somehow-
scrape.
It's because you got
it's
shot.
good. Yes, I lost HP because Apoc shot me with an arrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot.
I mean,
about
we could if the gang is up for it, we could at
Yeah, let's
least
do
do some R&D.
Okay, but like, is there a time crunch on this? Like, yeah, we got to save the burning forest, but is this monster going?
I don't know.
that. Knight's honor. We have to investigate.
I figured the faster we solve the monster, the less time the burning forest has to catch up to us. So
Agreed.
no time to waste.
All right. I mean, his logic is sound.
Okay.
We head to the underfall.
All right.
Fucking let's go.
I'm gonna regret this.
Can you heal me at all? Or not?
Can I heal you?
Oh, man, that's-
That's the line you want to hear the second you start off on an adventure.
Yeah. Can you heal me, please? I will say that in all this time, like you were at the Crooked Roots enough that you can all take short rests where you can regain some HP.
Okay.
Just FYI.
Good stuff.
Yeah, I should have mentioned that. Sorry, guys. But roll your hit dice, regain some HP, take your short rest.
Beautiful.
Nice.
Jesus, nice, Sean.
I mean, I was only down 4, and I have a +3, like a 1d10 +3. So no matter what, it was gonna be fine. But
Yeah, as you all kind of gain stuff back from your short rests and you start making your way even lower. Just as a reminder, Alderheart is sort of in sections of this tree, going up and up and up the trunk, all the way up to the boughs of the tree at the very top. And as you're finding, all the way down into the roots, or what's known as the underfall.
are we gonna fight some roots?
where you were was in the lower end of the trunk market. And as you start going down and farther down and farther down and farther down, passing the neighborhood that Camembert you frequented before, the Bright Hollows, which is still quite a nice neighborhood, but continuing down into the Underfall itself, you start to notice that you sort of reach ground level, and you can kind of tell the difference as soon as you step to the underground portion of these roots, where the roots of the alderheart tree itself form almost these massive, huge tunnels. Think of like caves that you've seen in pictures of mining for whatever, and then double that size. These are massive. You can't really see the top.
Oh.
It's this dank, moist kind of feeling, like the way your hand feels when you put it in fresh soil, for example. This kind
love
of,
that.
I love it too, but this moisture, this dankness in the air while you're inside the tunnel of a tree root. This living petrified tree root that forms almost like a cobblestone under your feet, as opposed to the smooth surface rings of the tree that you become almost used to in the trunk market and the canopy market areas.
Whoa, cool.
And as you go, you pass a patrol of perch guard that are kind of coming up, going in the opposite direction to you, sort of trying to be fully armored, nodding as you go.
Guys, be cool, be
just-
cool, be cool. Jeez, be cool.
Showing a bit of a presence. Giving you a bit of a side eye, just sort of clocking your presence in this area, in this, it's like 1 o'clock in the morning, 12:30 in the morning kind of situation. And as you're still going down into these roots, you do see buildings carved in, the way you've seen the whole time here in Alderheart, carved into the sides as the street continues to move forward in this cobblestone-esque way. Most of the lights are out. You do pass a couple sort of seedy characters that sort of look at you and scamper into alleys, or don't even bother to raise the hoods on their heads. Tattered dusters and travel clothes that you recognize as being, maybe you don't want to be caught down here alone without your armor.
Can I keep an eye on people as they walk by, just like make sure they're not gonna like sneak their hands into our pockets and our bags?
Yeah, you can definitely clock people. Go ahead and make a perception check just for behavior purposes.
13.
13. You can definitely clock them. You notice that at most they're in like groups of 2, maybe 3. Nothing really catches your eye. It is late. These streets are kind of deserted. It's just the ones who have nowhere else to go who are currently inhabiting these streets. Pardon?
I just gotcha.
With a 13 and the rest of you, kind of taking note as well. You do notice a couple, building pop up here and there with the lights still on, although they don't look as inviting as the crooked roots or the hopping stump or anything like that. But you do notice one building whose light is still on, and it looks more like a kitchen from what you can see, like a cafeteria almost, as you pass by the windows, which are still lit. And you gather that this is kind of like the soup kitchen of this area. You see a Corvum and a Luma, sort of, on the younger side, kind of in their like, young adult years, who are sort of working behind. You see a more muscly sort of servant critter sort of by the door. You see a couple people who are inhabiting the tables right now. One of them looks to almost be like kind of asleep, lying down, breathing sort of steadily as you pass by. Another one seems to be hunched over a bowl of something that's steaming and warm. But that seems to be the only place that still has people in it at this hour as you continue down to the rooms. The farther and farther down you go, just stop me if you want to do anything at all. You're still clocking. Nothing is really seeming to pose a threat to this armored troop of 5 people. And actually, now that you kind of think about it, where the hell did Dace go? It's a big part of you right now.
Uh-oh.
What do we want to say at this game?
Days went back to hit up the karaoke bar to finish out the night.
I
Yeah,
love it.
Man,
definitely.
you guys had karaoke without me?
Yeah, it was mostly karaoke.
No.
Sorry, love.
My favorite singer is Carrie Underbrush. She's so good.
I bet, yeah.
Everybody has their own musical favorites, so glad to know you have one.
Apoc does strike me as a country
Oh yeah, he's
kind of
definitely a
guy.
country boy. Born and raised.
Yikes. All right, moving on.
I'm more of an Elton Fawn myself.
Ooh.
Oh, so great. I love him.
Mrs. Q is also a fan, apparently.
Yeah.
I just love his glasses.
Mhm. The hedge with the round glasses, he's so cute.
Oh. Mm-hmm. Yep. Back in my day, all the young'uns were fans of Elton Fawn.
Yeah, I was raised on Elton Fawn, so I kind of got it from the folks.
My parents really like the Beatles.
How about you, Basil? What did you listen to?
I don't know what to say.
What a
Got it.
Come on, there's got to be something.
Eagles, I don't know.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's acceptable.
Zero.
It's okay, Andrew. You'll pick it up from these three chuckleheads sooner or later. As this conversation is going on, and your voice is kind of like echoing along the street that you now notice is kind of narrowing before starting to branch out into alleyways that look like they have more homes. You're getting near the subterranean part of the route that starts to kind of split and weave and just break off and branch off to give this street life. You do come to a point where there's almost a hard stop right in front of you before two main arteries continue to move off to either side. And as you come to this point, you notice it's kind of cool. It looks like a grate, a very decorative, for all intents and purposes, a very decorative sewer grate that's standing upright in front of you, where you imagine the intent of this is to allow airflow to continue down into the roots, to make sure that this living petrification of a tree continues to thrive on whatever nutrients it needs to take in from the soil itself. From what you can see, I think a couple of you have some dark vision. It does look like there is a tunnel, for those of you that do have dark vision, that kind of continues past this grate, as well as the tunnels that branch off to either side.
Anybody got a light?
Sir Basil takes out a torch and lights it.
All right. As you light it, kind of brightening up the space around you, this grate, now that you have the light in front of you, looks to have been made not from iron or metal or anything like that, but actually shaped from this opening in the root itself. So where once you imagine there was a solid portion of root, it seems like whatever magic has been employed to hollow out the roots themselves has also been employed to shape this into this beautiful, actually, no, this is really good because we watched it last night. Do you remember the symbol of the King of Gondor, the tree, the ash tree? That's kind of what it looks like as a crest. It's this massive tree with sprouting branches, just sort of like the symbol of Alderheart almost, a rendition of Alderheart to give a little bit of artistic feel to this location that's otherwise quite drab. You do feel not quite a breeze, but some cold air as you sort of push your hand through. And as you kind of are able to hold your torch through and look around, the tunnel does continue to extend past this grate.
Well, clearly, as someone has gone to quite some effort to block this way with something rather beautiful, and I'd hate to break it. So perhaps we choose a different direction other than straight ahead.
Is there no way foreseeable? Can we not see a way to get past this grate?
It's just wood, right?
It's beautifully carved. It would be a shame to break it.
Yeah, do you see a latch or anything?
Like hinges or anything like that?
Everybody go ahead and make me a perception check, please. Everyone can.
16.
14?
Yeah.
Where's the dog?
14.
So 11 for me.
11. Somehow, the guy who's drunk and like
I rolled with
juiced on coffee.
I rolled with disadvantage also.
Yeah, I remembered that now. Somehow, Camembert is the one who kind of sees, as you sort of are just like fascinated by this artwork, right along the edges where the actual artwork itself meets the rest of this route. You see places where it kind of looks like there may have been a split and a mend to this grate. Almost like someone has taken very good care to split it and then mend it back together almost seamlessly.
Okay.
Well, judging by this, you sure you're not like a Cardinal B fan? Like they're pretty they're pretty up and coming.
Good.
What? What is this?
I think Lady Squawk Squawk is better than Cardinal
Oh my goodness.
No.
How long have you
Good.
been
By the way, there's a crack in the
Everybody
door.
has inspiration for this. This is the dumbest conversation I've ever witnessed, but I love it.
Anyways, there's a crack in the door. So like think about it and let me know. I'm curious. We want to make sure, everybody's musical tastes are accounted for. So
Cardinal B.
Stupid.
I love it. I love it.
So anyways, there's a crack in the door. So if we break it, someone's just gonna fix it anyways. So
Hey, does anybody know mending? Can you mend anybody?
Aren't you a tinker?
No. I make stuff. I don't mend.
Make nothing. Okay.
I mean, I can patch it up. It'll just fall apart though, unless I really sit there. I can. Okay, let's swipe through it. I'll do what I can.
Do we want to go this direction?
I thought you guys were leading me to the monster.
But we were just doing some R&D.
I feel like this is the spire, like the root has led us to this.
Do we know that this is where the
It's the underfall.
I thought we were in the underfall already.
Yeah, the underfall has led us to this.
You are in the underfall. You're at this point where you have hit this beautiful grate that you now see has suffered damage and been mended. And then there are kind of the way roots branch. There are like other branches that you can go down. They're not as like a main thoroughfare. They're kind of like alleyways or side streets almost. So you're at this junction, I guess is the best way to say it.
From Basil's vantage point, how high up is this crack?
So you're talking about the crack that Camembert pointed out?
Yes.
So think of this, a root is round for all intents and purposes, let's say. This root is huge, it's massive, equal to the grandeur of this tree.
Yep.
So you can't see, the top of this per se.
Yep.
It kind of does come almost to a point as this root has started to taper just a little bit. So it would be like, if we're talking like the halls of a church or a cathedral, you're talking, 50 feet in the air as the top of this grate. And it's kind of got these like intricate circles that have formed around. And the crack that you noticed, that Camembert noticed, was right where the edge of this circle and the carved grate meet. And it's near the ground, like it's Camembert noticed it. So it is near enough the ground. It looks like the artwork has kind of been cut through in a couple areas and then mended back together. Almost as if someone was trying very hard to hide some sort of passageway.
Sir Basil, after Cam, like calls it, says, oh, the crack over here. He gets his torch and kind of goes over to it, and maybe tries to inspect it and see if he notices anything off about it.
Sure, you can go ahead and make an investigation check if you want to look a little closer.
Sure. An 11.
Can I help him?
How are you going to help him? Just looking as well?
Here, let me help you out, and I push the torch into the fence.
Past the artwork or like into the wood itself?
Into the wood itself.
Nice.
Okay. All right. One thing will happen first, in that as soon as you press the torch to it, there is this kind of flash as the torch hits this like magical petrified wood. As you like reel back and bring it back, Basil, you do notice that part of the wood has been seared and charred. It's kind of the thinner parts of this intricate design. And it has been charred. It's now like an instant charcoal almost. And as you go to investigate and kind of put your hand on it, it sort of crumbles a little easier than you expected, as it looks like whatever made these initial cuts, the cut on one end, the burn on the other, almost make this whole section give way. As it seems like you created almost a tiny little hole through the artwork.
Sir Basil pushes in.
All right.
Mrs. Q's just standing there like.
I imagine it as just like they're all standing there. Sir Basil pushes, and then next thing you know, Sir Basil's gone. And you're like,
like you fall through the hole.
fall through.
Is the hole
Well,
that big?
I don't know. Well, I mean, it's big enough for me.
It's definitely big enough for you. You think of it almost like a lattice work. That's what you're sort of pushing through right now, an intricate part of lattice work that you've pushed through. And you do indeed make it all the way through as this scorched branch gives way. And you are on the other side of this gate in this very, now that you're here, a little bit more of a musty kind of smell that was almost like barred by this artwork of a grate itself. And it is dark in this tunnel, but definitely the cold, dark mustiness.
Would I recognize the smell as like, is it just because it's just the smell of like, it's just a dusty old place, or is it like the smell of something has died here or something, or?
It's going to be a little hard to tell, especially with your investigation roll that I'm going to carry forward. It smells like soil. It smells like dirt. You know you're subterranean right now, but it's also musty. Like fresh dirt smells nice. This is old.
Okay. Sir Basil pokes his head back through the hole and says, "Come on, guys." And then pokes his head back to the other side.
Mrs. Q like steps forward and climbs through and just muttering about her apron getting all dirty again.
Sir Basil helps her on the other side, like dusts her off.
Yeah, it is going to be a little bit tight. I mean, you did make a hole, but for the rest of you that are taller than 2 feet, it's kind of like a army crawl or like a little bit of a prop up through. So there is a little bit of dirt that the rest of you are going to take.
I'm going to crab walk in.
You're going to what?
Crab walk in.
Oh.
Make an acrobatics check. And I believe it's at disadvantage since you failed your con save.
14.
Not bad.
It's like more graceful than you expected, but like it's definitely the act of a drunk guy.
Okay.
But you are all in this little tunnel now behind this carved gate. You can kind of see the lights of the street that were a little farther up past the grate itself. You all do get hit with this musty smell as you're just sort of taking in the surroundings, and it is dark, guys.
What is it? Can I think about the smell? Can I try and figure out what it smells like? Not just musty, but like if I've ever experienced this before.
Sure. Sorry, that's just my mom calling.
Yeah.
Go ahead and make I'm gonna say perception check.
Perception? Okay.
Perception or investigation, take your pick.
Let's go perception. 15.
15. You kind of get the hints of what Basil got. You do get soil, wet soil.
Yeah.
You're underground. It is subterranean. You can kind of, feel along the walls as you go. It is still petrified tree that's here, but it is, it's kind of got a little bit of dampness. The mustiness.
Basically, like what I'm trying to figure out is like, do I know a creature that would resemble this smell? That's the question I'm asking.
It's not that specific yet.
Okay.
It's kind of like wafts almost
Yeah.
That are coming through a bit of a vent, for example.
Yeah.
Nothing is super specific to you yet, but keep that in mind as you kind of continue forward.
Yeah.
If you're going to continue forward.
Yeah. That's the whole point of what we're doing here, right? We're trying to figure out what this is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mrs. Q looks like in the immediate vicinity on the ground or along the wall to see if she sees any scratches or footprints, droppings.
Or bugs.
Or bugs.
Or
Yeah.
bugs.
Yeah.
Or bugs.
All right. Scratchings or droppings or anything like that. I'm going to say for this, it'll be a perception or investigation check as well. Your choice.
Okay.
What's plus 2?
Both are the same. Five.
Really dark. It's like super dark. Like real dark.
Sir Basil says, does anyone have more light?
Plotted torch, maybe? I have a torch too. Is that gonna help?
Doesn't hurt.
I mean, you got your torch, right?
Yeah, just look around.
I have so it's not gonna last forever, but Mrs. Q casts thaumaturgy on the torches to make them brighter.
Ooh.
All right.
That's good.
Perfect.
Cool.
So I think I'm not gonna hold my torch because if I'm holding a torch, I can't fire this bow.
I can hold the torch for you.
I take it right out of Cam's hand.
I
And hold
imagine
the
a
torch.
situation of Sir Basil so trusting is about to him and then he just takes it halfway through.
Because I don't want him carrying a torch in a tree.
Also, he might be flammable at this point.
All right. Yeah. So as you have another torch, you thaumaturgy up just a little bit. It definitely sparks to brighten up the space. Again, this is really big, church cathedral kind of big. So you don't quite see the top of this route just yet. But now that you have brightened up the space with your torches, you now do see like what you're walking on. It's still cobblestone, kind of more dirt, definitely damp footing. And as you sort of move along a little bit, like it's still the tree that you're in. You have kind of this dark, rich brown with like this charcoal gray kind of going through the site that you know to be Alderheart. You do see nothing that stands out as abnormal right away. But now that you're on this side of the grate, you almost do see like a place where someone has nod, or something has gnawed on something. They almost look like ridges, I'll say, where something might have just, tried to take a bite of the wood itself, the tree itself. It's not super obvious in the dark, but definitely with the flare of the light, the shadows that dance the right way, it's more noticeable before the torches kind of dim a little bit.
Based on the marks, can we get an idea of or a sense of how big this creature could be?
Go ahead and make a nature check to see if you can discern from something so brief.
Everything I have is +0. It's just That's a 3.
Wait. Never mind.
Okay.
Never mind.
That's a
I'm gonna
3.
do something. So.
Super hard to tell.
It's huge. This must be one great monster.
Maybe we should just keep going. Start walking ahead.
All right.
I feel more confident because I have dark vision and there's a light behind me, but
Yeah, we keep going.
All right, perfect.
Mine was more. I imagine that just dark, just walking through.
Yeah, it's kind of creepy, super creepy. Not going through caves at night with no headlight creepy, but definitely kind of on that level. And as you sort of start pushing forward into this very, very, the space almost seems to kind of tighten and tighten around you as you kind of hold your torches aloft and continue going. It is very late at night, and I need everybody to make a Constitution saving throw.
Ooh.
1, 2, 1.
You're good.
Uh, 3.
Oh,
I rolled a garbage day.
It's a 2.
What means if you're proficient in it? What's that mean?
your Constitution save.
Yeah, it says there's proficiency.
So D&D Beyond should have whatever it is. So your Constitution is plus something, right?
It gives it a
okay.
bigger.
You're just really good at con, but it should already be doing the math for you.
Okay. A 16.
Okay. Whoever rolled below a 10 is going to take a level of exhaustion for being awake for so long in this chilly root area.
Can you remind me what that does again?
So exhaustion is, I believe, disadvantage on ability checks. Yeah, disadvantage on all ability checks. So perception, investigation, all that fun stuff.
Righto.
Right. As you are walking and walking and walking for what seems like a really, really long time down this very dark, very damp, very kind of chilly now that you're down here. That smell of must starting to become more and more pervasive within your whole range, your nose, your mouth. You can almost kind of taste it on your tongue. As you as you kind of continue moving down, almost kind of instantly, you notice the moment you step off of what feels like cobblestone, this petrified tree trunk. And when you step onto soil, squishy dirt that kind of squishes underneath you.
Mm.
And right at that moment, you holding the torches kind of aloft, you almost see this more like roughly hewn, there's still stone around you, but it definitely looks more like a cavern instead of the smoothness of the trunk or the roots of Alderheart, sorry. Something that's almost a little more, I don't want to say natural, but I guess a little more natural in the sense that it's rocky. It looks like it's soil underneath you. It's not shaped the way Alderheart has been shaped.
Okay.
You're in this kind of, you're in dirt now. Sorry, Mrs. Q.
No, Mrs. Q likes dirt. As a hedgehog, Mrs. Q's clothes and laundry don't like dirt.
Fair. And as you start kind of pushing forward into this more dirt-covered cavern, squishing as you go and moving as you go, you get the sense that you are very, very, very far underground. As not the sensation of ears popping, but almost the equivalent where you kind of feel it in your temples, just deeper than the caves in the Mockton Fields where Cam originally was slain by the slimes. Like you're far down. And at this point, I would like everyone to make another perception check.
Unless I can borrow a die.
And those of you with exhaustion, so Cam and Mrs. Q, disadvantage.
13.
19.
4.
Oh, Georgina, throw away the dice.
16.
It's the dang second die.
Sorry. Was it my die?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
All right, so, sorry, what were you?
19.
19, 14, and Cam?
13.
13. Okay, so everyone but Mrs. Q. Sorry, Mrs. Q. As you're kind of like fiddling with your apron to make sure it stays out of the dirt as much as possible. The boys notice kind of movement just off to your right on the cavern wall itself. As you hold the torches closer, you see very Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets-esque, this line of very teeny tiny little spiders just sort of weaving their way along the cavern wall,
I don't like this.
just sort of walking beside you, kind of keeping pace.
Does someone tell Mrs. Q of this? Or is Mrs. Q still oblivious? Yes, good. Then Mrs. Q goes up and tries to speak to one of the spiders.
Awesome. Forgot about that.
Yeah. This is gonna be a staple.
Remind me, is it a roll?
It just says through sounds and gestures, you can communicate simple ideas with creatures of the beast subtype that represent insects, spiders, worms, and other creepy crawlies, regardless of their size.
So what do you
So
do?
I am communicating.
How do you communicate?
I communicate through sounds and gestures.
Show us.
Oh.
To a spider?
Do you have legs? I don't know.
I love it.
Well, how about this? What are you trying to say? What are you trying to get across? What thoughts? What ideas?
Where are you going?
Okay. You, through this one little spider, conveying that message, you get the idea back that the spider's just kind of saying, down to home.
I'm imagining you doing that, and the one little spider turns and is just like,
Yeah,
like it's squawking.
Yeah,
Like, whoa,
that's what I want.
it's voguing it, man.
Yeah.
This ain't gonna be good.
Okay, well, I communicate that back. They seem to be going home, which is down.
Sir Basil says the question out loud, kind of just like holding up the torch, kind of being like, but how far is down? And he tries to like look to see if he gets the perception.
No problem, Mrs. Q can ask. How far is down?
through other little gestures from this spider, you get the idea that it's just long, far down. Keeping in mind that this is like a spider the size of a quarter.
Mrs. Q turns back around to everyone and starts doing this again. And there's like, oh, wait, sorry.
Oh. Translation.
Down as far as down.
So we think it's a spider mama that we're after?
I don't know how to say mama in spider, so.
Adorable.
Maybe there's a way that we can draw whatever is down there up to us.
Why?
don't-
Why would we do that? Why would we do that?
That's why we're here.
Oh, do you know any spider mating rituals?
No.
Maybe you could bring it out, like entice it.
So Basil just looks at Mrs. Q and then kind of like hints at the little spider. Ask it.
Ask me what precisely?
Yes, and
Oh shoot, yeah. I essentially want to do something that because we know there's something down here, or we're perceiving something down here.
Mhm.
We see the spiders going home. We want home or whatever it is that's in here to come to us.
Mrs. Q feels like if all of these tiny weeny spiders are heading home, then whoever's home is probably a big spider that is very scary. And she doesn't particularly like the idea of enticing said giant spider into like the tunnels where everyone is.
But
like,
this could
walking
be
through.
the monster that Thomas was
Yes, but
talking
shouldn't
about.
we go to it as opposed to trying to bring it out into a common area where it could have the chance of hurting other people?
The further we go, the potentially more dangerous and precarious our situation becomes.
Well, we're a democracy. So what do the others think?
What does the group think?
What are your thoughts, Apoc?
I, for one, would like to see Mrs. Q's spider mating ritual. I could help fashion some extra limbs if you'd like.
Mrs. Q flicks Apoc on the ear and tells him to behave himself.
No? Cam, would you do it? You kind of look like you have a spider body.
Sure, buddy. Anything for you.
oh boy.
All right, I spend the next 10 minutes finding long twigs and moss.
Okay. You're in a cave, very far underground.
So there's probably none.
Moss, maybe. Twigs, not so much. And as you're kind of looking around, Apoc, you do notice like you don't see any indication of a giant spider here.
I
There's
don't.
no webs or
Okay.
anything like that.
I couldn't find anything to make a spider body, so you might have to do this on your own.
Well, maybe I could like. Is there like a mating song or like ritual that like can be performed?
I mean, pretty much pick anything from Elton Fawn's best album.
Well, I wasn't thinking Elton Fawn. I was thinking there's that song "Hey Ho" by the Lumineers. I think that would be a pretty good one.
Take it away.
All right.
Let's see what happens.
I've been trying to do it right, living my best spiderly life. I'm gonna sleep here instead with a sexy spider in my bed.
Hey! Oh!
So show me those 8 fancy legs.
Hey!
all the blood and I'll beg.
Oh!
I don't see any spiders coming. We should probably get going.
Hey!
Georgina, you see the spiders you've been talking to just kind of like, if spiders could give a side eye, that's what it would look like, but they just scuttle a little bit faster down the tunnel.
All right, follow them.
Should have gone with Tiny Dancer.
One question.
Hold me closer, time is fine.
As they were singing the song, do we get a sense of like I guess we're now in soil, so it's not like noise is like echoing down the tunnel, right? Or is it?
There is an echo. Like it's still quite big, it's still quite tall, so there is an echo, and you definitely don't see the end of this tunnel yet. But it is dampened because you're standing on soil. So, there's cave where you'd be walking on rock. This is soil where you're surrounded by something that doesn't look like the roots of Elderheart, whether it's rock or whatever.
Okay, gotcha.
Oh, did you want it to be louder?
What, like, hello, just like kind of like
Oh.
draw something out to us.
I can make your voice louder if you really want to do that.
Maybe you do that for his singing.
Okay.
So much for being brave. Apoc just laughs.
Or sure, maybe it's like as you were thinking of doing, we were doing like that. Hey, dun, 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 dun. Ho, like you randomly made one of the hoes.
I don't know if calling the spider mom a hoe is the best plan going forward.
Yeah. But yeah, that was just my thinking. Like if we could say something loud that like travels down, that like draws something out because they're like, oh, what's that noise? Like makes them want to investigate us. But we don't need to. If not, I'm down to just keep going down the tunnel.
I mean, we're kind of assuming that they know English or common or whatever we're speaking, bird folk.
Am I going to have to translate these song lyrics into spider? Can I do that? Am I stretching this ability too much?
You can
I can communicate.
simple ideas.
Okay.
All right.
Being simple.
Yeah.
So we decide we just keep following the spider.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
All right. After a brief racket that was made at the this precipice, as soon as you stepped off from what you know is the root of Alderheart to this soil cave. Still working your way through, the light from your torches kind of bouncing off what you assume to be stone, this kind of like very white edge every so often through the dankness of this, the dank and the dirt that's in here in this cavern itself.
Cave is big.
It's not nice. You do start to see like a couple more swarms of spiders as you go. Now that you know to look out for them, as the cave almost gets a little bit skinnier. It's not noticeable at first, but as you start or keep moving down, it just seems to get even smaller around you, until it feels more like the mock den caverns itself that you were walking through before.
Okay.
And continuing on, pushing on, the farther down you go. Who's leading here? Who's in front?
Sure, I can. I have dark vision, so I don't mind leading.
I'll be behind Apoc with a torch.
And Apoc's just going down singing steady as she goes.
All right.
The raccoon ters.
The raccoon tears. Yeah, you've heard of them too?
Yeah. Solid. I'm more of a Gerbeans of the Stone Age myself.
Oh, Jimmy. They're great.
All right.
Quick question, as we're going down, how long has it been?
Long.
So would you say I've sobered up by now?
You would definitely have sobered up by now. Like you're going on like 90 minutes, almost 2 hours walking down.
Okay, cool.
Like this is deeper than you've been again in the Mockton Caverns, so you're getting a little bit better.
Mrs. Q,
You're still exhausted.
I'm never gonna drink again. Oh.
Glad to hear it. We'll see how long that lasts.
A little bit shaky on your feet as you continue on. And sorry. Apoc, you being in the lead as you continue with the torchlight from Mrs. Q behind you, the cavern almost seems to take a little bit of a bend. And right around the bend, you see something kind of hanging. Just out of range.
I draw a bead. Can I tell what it is?
Just go ahead and make a perception check for me.
It's not bad. It's a 15.
All right. As you focus in, you can see from the light of Mrs. Q's torch, focusing in, drawing a bead, really focusing. This thing looks like it's hanging from the ceiling and almost gently swaying back and forth. It looks like it's kind of cocooned in something, like an oval shape.
What color?
It looks like this white twine almost
Such a spider.
with these. What you see from right now is this white looking twine.
It's swaying?
Kind of very, very, very gently. And as you really focus in, you notice what looks to be like another one hanging behind it.
Does it feel like a breeze?
You don't feel anything different from before. There's no really moving air down here. It's quite stagnant.
Okay. How many can we see hanging from the roof?
From where you are right now, kind of it's like right around the bend almost. You see 2, maybe 3. But there is an area around the corner that is just out of sight.
We're on high alert, guys.
Don't think a spider would wrap itself in spider silk.
No, but this might be its prey.
Yep.
Should we try poking it?
Would Basil do it? Would Basil poke?
Well, as soon as you say it might be its prey, do we notice that like does it look perfectly like cocoon shape, or does it like look in the shape of like an animal or a creature?
It looks perfectly, like, I guess not perfectly. You can see if you go a little bit closer, you can definitely see a defined, torso. You can see defined lower body with a string kind of hanging from the roof.
Mhm.
And as you kind of turn this corner, you see, or at least get a little closer to the corner. The closer you get, the more you can see around the corner. You see more. 4, 5, 6.
All right. Basil's leading at this point.
Okay.
Can Sir Basil try and cut down the first wrapped torso? Maybe like if it's hanging by a string, maybe he gets a sword and kind of just like and tries to catch whatever fall.
So you don't actually see the ceiling yet of where it's attached to,
Oh, okay.
but you can see, like, if it is attached from the ceiling, you do see the silk that seems to be going up to the ceiling. It's going to be a little tall for you, like maybe 10 feet up.
You want me to shoot it down? It'll be loud.
I could do like a jump, because it says like I can jump up to like 15 feet, like standing jump, I think.
Oh, cool.
Let me read the exact number. Your base long jump is 30 feet and your base high jump is 15 feet without a running start.
As I see you prepare your sword I'm assuming you're using your sword to cut down. I suggest Cam doesn't have anything in his hands right now, right?
I don't think so.
I don't. If you need me to grab something, what do you need me to hold?
I was going to say, how would you feel about catching what's about to fall from the ceiling so we don't make too much of a sound?
Well, you know what? Mrs. Q, can you hold on to this? And I pull out my fleece blanket and I throw you one half of it. And I like hold on to the other half. And I try and catch you with this.
Great.
So Basil jumps and just tries to like swipe at the string.
All right, I'm going to need you to make an attack roll.
String, ooh, okay.
I mean, this is spider silk. This stuff is strong. Well, in some parts of the Amazonian rainforest, you could shoot a bullet and it would get stuck in all of the webs.
Yes, it would.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
So I see like a normal attack with my sword, right?
Yeah.
22.
Damn.
Oh yeah, definitely hits. How much damage do you normally do?
2d6 plus 2.
Yeah, that'll be more than
That's
enough.
at least a bullet.
Yeah. As you jump and swipe through, you do indeed like cleave through. You feel a little bit of resistance as you hit with the sword itself, because like Mrs. Q said, spider silk is no joke. And as this wrapped cocoon falls, I'm going to need a kind of joint check from Camembert and Mrs. Q to see if you can catch whatever falls without it making too much noise. So we will go with just straight up strength for this.
Okay.
Strength check.
Strength check.
At disadvantage still?
Yes, that's right, because you're both exhausted.
Yep, this is gonna be bad.
10.
Okay.
That's bad. That's a 2.
Okay. As you go to you're ready, you're prepared at the very last minute, Mrs. Q, you think you see something out of the corner of your eye and slack the blanket a little bit too much as this falling body kind of catches you and Camembert off guard, and it smacks onto the ground, making a thunk sound as it hits the mossy floor below. Or sorry, the spongy floor below. You kind of stay still for a second, realizing that there's been a little bit of an echo, but it seems like the soil might have been your friend in this case, as opposed to hard rock or anything like that. But this cocoon is down.
Can we try and pry it open?
Yeah, I'm going to assume that with enough time, you guys are all going to be strong enough to actually pry this thing open. One thing you do notice is this stuff is sticky. As soon as you touch it, you're trying to pull your hands off of the webbing itself, the spider silk itself.
Hey, wait up! Don't touch it yourself. I cast Mage Hand with my swarm of fleas and get them to pull it off bit by bit.
All right, as you do, yeah. Some of the fleas have a hard time. Some get stuck like a flea in a web.
Yep.
But you are able, with enough time and enough shimmying, to loosen the silk from this body. And what you notice is this very, very, at least tall looking strig. The feathers have all feathers are dead things to begin with, but the spider silk and the stickiness was not kind to it. And there's definitely some wear and tear. This creature you can tell that there are signs of decay now that you're this close, as this creature appears to not have survived whatever has captured it and brought it down into this cave or this lair, if you will. And whoever wants to, I'm going to get you guys to make either a medicine or a perception check for me, the whole group.
Medicine is good for me, but
It's all +0 for me. So
Doesn't matter what. Just let me know what you choose and let me know what you get.
unnatural 20.
Okay.
Perception 9.
Perception 9. Medicine 20.
6. Medicine
Perception
6.
7.
Okay, so 6, 9, 7. Mrs. Q, what you do notice as you are kind of doing your cleric thing and just sort of looking over the body of this strig, all of you kind of notice the very simple peasant clothes, traveler's clothes, very dusty, definitely worn, nothing really worth taking here, as it looks like this may have been one of the residents of the Underfall itself. Mrs. Q, as you're starting to just sort of check over the scaly parts, in between the feathers, you notice that where you expect there to be a red or purple coloration of blood that has gone still in the veins, there is this emerald green that has instead taken the place along, underneath the feathers, the face, some of the hands, any place where you can kind of look under the feathers or freely see this emerald green. It's eerie because it kind of like sparkles, almost like rock in your light through the skin of this string.
It's been perfused.
I'm gonna grab a couple feathers if I can.
Yeah, certainly. It'll be easy enough to do.
I just want to keep my bow drawn. If there's anything that moves quickly towards us or that like doesn't look like these like encapsulated beings like in the web, I just want to let loose an arrow at it.
Got it. Okay, so any movement.
Any sharp movement that looks hostile, I would say.
Yeah, sounds good. You can definitely keep an eye out just to make sure. I'm going to suggest we take a break there.
Yep.
Just so we can move around before whatever occurs next.
Okay.
And I also want some tea.
Yeah.
So
No hot cocoa?
I want hot cocoa. That's
Okay.
the one. spider's lair, home, something or the other. Pick up right back where we left off.
Do we keep going? Do we go through more of the bodies? What do you guys want to do?
I'm guessing from where we're standing, we still don't see like an end to the tunnel, right? It keeps going.
Actually, since you're kind of around the corner now, you don't see an end, but you do see something. And it kind of reminds you of your time in the Mothden Caverns, where you almost like felt more than saw something open a little bit farther down the tunnel. Like it wasn't just continuously narrow and narrow and narrow. Like the light from your torches, as it flickers, almost seems to like wrap around like a corner or an entryway or something, maybe 50 feet down the tunnel itself.
Okay.
Mrs. Q looks down at the strig rather sadly, imagining that this was probably a very frightening and unpleasant way to die, and says, if anyone can think of an easy way to check whether any of these other folk are still alive without alerting the owner of this establishment, that would be great. I don't know if we can just try and pry open the faces, see if they're green or not.
What's it's all sticky.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe do we see any one of them like moving or wiggling?
Yeah.
I'll give you this because you're kind of in the thick of it now. There are quite a few cocoons hanging from the ceiling, like into double digits, sort of quite a few cocoons. You do see some where the wrappings have become a little bit looser. And that's kind of reminiscent of the strig that you saw, the wrappings that the strig was in. Some of them are a little bit tighter. You don't see wiggling per se, but there definitely seems to be some that are not falling loose from whatever they're cocooned around. Maybe like 2 or 3 that you can see right off the bat.
Guys, I worry. Like, you would think if that was food, there would be this many, right? Like, you'd eat them and then keep more, and then you'd eat them and you keep more.
Yeah, you're right.
What if these are hosts?
Do I get any sense from the if Mrs. Q showed us the emerald skin, the kind of glowing emerald skin, do I get any vibes off of it?
Mm-hmm. As Mrs. Q would have pointed it out, and as you would have made contact with like the skin of this strig to pull the feathers out, you definitely got a twinge from that mark around your hand.
Apoc, I think this is just the natural progression of death down here. I think if we don't end up like them, probably the best. But I don't think we should. I don't think we should tamper too much more with what's going on here. Let's go find that monster. I'd maybe stay clear of the rest of those bodies.
I trust that judgment.
All right. So you are. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Basil.
I'm just saying, like, we continue slowly, cautiously towards the end of the tunnel.
All right. So if you are moving stealthily, I will need some stealth checks from everybody, please, to try and avoid the stickiness of all of the webbing kind of around. And Apoc, sort of to your point, you do see webs off to the side as you continue to traverse down here, kind of looking like broken cocoons. The farther down you get this tunnel, the closer to where that light sort of started to wrap around.
I didn't roll good.
An 11 for me.
16.
An 11.
16.
Damn.
A 7.
A 3.
Okay. Cam, you are like kind of hiding behind and using these cocoons to your advantage, kind of knowing a little bit more about them just from your experiences. And you hear jingle, jangle, jingle, jangle, jingle, jangle, and cling, 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 cling as the rest of your party is walking in their armor very loudly.
I'd like to turn to them and just give them a furtive glance.
Once received.
Sorry.
Sorry. As you make your way down this tunnel. Are your torches still lit? I'm assuming to see where you're placing your feet. Have you chosen to abandon them?
I think we still have them.
They're still lit.
Okay.
I think we need them at this point.
All right. As you make it to kind of that spot that I think all of you may have seen, or at least Basil had seen because he asked about it, where the light seemed to denote a doorway or some sort of entry point where there was something bigger behind it. The light that you carry, it's still dark down here, but the light that you carry, as you kind of hold it out in front of you, you do notice that this cavern opens. That much you can tell from the light you give off. You do only have, I think, like 20, 30 feet in front of you for this light. But as you kind of hold it aloft, it seems like there hasn't been a lot of light down here due to the fact that it is dark. But now that the light is starting to kind of hit off the walls of this cavern, this weird whitish stone, the best you can tell, in this cavern in particular, you get faint glows from the stone itself, so that the room kind of around you, as you stay in one spot, the light hitting the wall seems to start to glow a little bit. Like a very faint nightlight almost, sort of ethereally. Kind of reminds you of how Alderheart itself, the walls of the trunk of Alderheart and the trunk market and the canopy market glow. Just more of a eerie white light instead of that warm light from the trunk of the tree. And the soil's still kind of under your feet as you start to look around, and the room starts to light up just enough for you to get, a little bit of depth. This is, again, huge. This kind of bigger open spot that still looks like it goes deeper, kind of on the other side, and branching tunnels around you. And you can see, it's very odd. You can see almost kind of like a column sort of right in the middle of this room, except each section of this column seems to sort of be like off kilter from one another just a bit, so that it's kind of winding its way up. And each of these sections has protrusions that sort of, they're smaller, but they kind of just bump out, bigger on one side, smaller on the other, almost like a C around these middle protrusions. Again, kind of kicked off from one another. And stepping into this area, the one thing that definitely catches your eye is just the amount of web that you see pulling off of this middle column. Have you ever seen a diagram of the circulatory system or even the nervous system, like the spinal cord with nerves coming off of it? Imagine that in this room. This central column sort of off kilter from one another with these weird protrusions and web hanging from it, stapled or suctioned to the ceiling, kind of all around the floor. And I am going to send out an owl bear for everyone.
Oh, can I draw something from my bag?
Can you draw something? Sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna draw a little vial, little potion.
Wait, wasn't this a link?
A little potion?
Yeah. And
Is it not a link?
No,
Sorry, give me 1 second, Eric.
that's fine. You can copy.
Okay. All right.
Oh.
Sorry, you're gonna draw a little potion.
and take a swig.
What potion is it?
Potion of animal friendship.
All right. Let me Google what that does. Give me a second, everybody.
Let's see. I had it up here.
Here's
So
the
I can cast animal friendship at will for the next hour.
Nice.
At will for the next hour. Holy smokes.
spiders are your friends.
As we look up this pillar, do we see anything above us? Like even those that have dark vision?
Sorry, thanks for waiting, everyone. As you look up, this is sort of softly starting to glow. Even the column in the middle, this odd, dirty white is just softly starting to glow. I can have everybody make a perception check or an investigation check if you want to be here. 11.
23 with disadvantage.
Jesus, sir.
That was a 19 and a 20.
Wow.
Jeez.
16 for me.
16, okay. And Basil?
11 as well.
Okay. So, let's see.
Pretty good rolls.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, roll. I was great.
For exhaustion.
Yeah.
All right, you all see, where's my little pointer? You all see in this corner, as you're taking in the light, or as you're taking in this room, you see something blip out. You didn't quite get a good enough look at it because it was across the room, but you definitely saw something move, disappear, hard to tell. You also, particularly those who rolled above a 15, see, oh wait, where's my? You see something crawling down from the top of this column.
Oh, looks cute.
Hello, friend.
This massive, massive hulking spider. Give me a second, Cam. It's the thing of nightmares. Absolutely huge. Lord of the Rings-esque is all I'll say. Because we just watched that.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of like on a very high portion, kind of at the edge of your vision, on top of this. There you go. On top of this column, just sort of examining you. This jet black color looking at you from up above.
Okay.
Can you yell out, "Hello, friend"?
Hello, friend.
I guess if I hear hello, friend, I'm not going to shoot at it.
All right.
Just because
Okay.
I had my bow out. But...
Yeah, wisdom
I
save.
take it you're-
Wisdom save DC 13.
Okay, I was just about to ask. Thank you. Let's use the skull dice. Ooh.
If it has an intelligence of less than 4, it automatically fails.
Oh, it auto fails. That's what I was looking for. Okay. Oh. As you yell out, "Hello, friend," it looks up at you and it slowly starts to crawl down.
See?
And
Spiders
it
aren't
just
scary.
kind of like comes from around the corner, kind of around on this side as it moves. It will just kind of stop right in here.
I'll like walk up. Hey guys, it looks like it's friendly to us. You got any questions for it?
What's your name?
As it bites his head off.
Mrs. Q steps forward and brushes off her apron and Translates.
Is your abilities like small creatures? Because this is huge.
It just says if it. Hang on. Let me reread it. It says. Through sound suggestion, you can communicate simple ideas with creatures of the beast subtype that represent insects, spiders, worms, and other creepy crawlies, regardless of their size.
Done.
Yes.
Well,
Oh, I repeat.
all right. What was the question?
I'm assuming whatever Apoc said. What's
I asked what his name was.
Okay.
Yeah. Name?
Where's the page tear?
Did you prep a name for this character?
No. All right. You get the translation back. That they're just like, I need no name, almost. Like I have no name. No need for names.
Anita, no name. Got it.
I need to know it.
I need a no name.
There you go.
Okay.
Can you translate back and need a no name?
All right.
Oh man.
All right. So animal friendship is you convince a beast that you mean no harm to it. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's your absolute new best pal.
No.
Is that all it does?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like the fact that Georgina has like ASL, like American Spider Language.
Oh man.
Love it.
Alder Hardy spider language.
There you go. Yes. Yes.
That's it.
So as this spider is, you're kind of standing right in front of it. It is still kind of like regarding you, a little unsure, but still sort of speaking to you, kind of like a stranger on the street that you're just unsure of its intentions.
Mrs. Q, can you ask it what it's doing with all these bodies? We're just kind of curious.
I translate said question through. Okay.
And from that translation, you get kind of back just hungry.
What's with the green
We
thing?
are hungry.
What's with the green thing?
You spiders see in color.
Is that they see in like UV?
That's not color.
No, that's bird.
Why did I Google it? Sean, can you Google it?
Yeah, I don't know why you would Google the spiders.
Sean, can you Google it, please?
It can be whatever you want it to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your spiders are uniquely your own.
I know. Just need something to go on.
Canonically, spiders have poor eyesight and rely mostly on touch and vibration.
That's what I thought. Let me see what this guy does in particular.
But your world is your world.
This guy's kind of cool. They're also kind of in the dark. What was the question again? What's with the green thing?
Well, I mean, I didn't use those exact words. I said, why are they green? Like, why is your food green?
You get, just from the spider's perspective, like, it's happened forever. It's always happened.
Okay. I ask, you don't mean to do it? It just happens?
The spider's gonna almost give off an air of confusion. I mean, it is still an animal and it's not very smart. So to ask why something happens is going to be tough to something that is just acting as a beast.
Right.
Like, why you down here? Or then maybe ask, you ever go up? Like a simple question.
I mean, can I interject here? I mean, it's not really welcome in the society above, right? And it's trying to get food, but the only food it can get is the people above. I don't know if we should be making friends with this without, like when you give something a name, it's hard to kill it, right? Can you convince it to stop killing? But then it would be dying because it has no food.
It's true.
This is kind of a catch-22 at this point, right?
Hey, Anita, why have you not eaten the food you have? Why are you always catching more?
I take it there's a translation.
It is.
I'm sorry, honey, I'm sorry.
No, this is okay. This is great. I love it. I already gave you guys inspiration. You can't have more, so too bad you wasted it on your music jokes. The question is, why are you always catching more
And not eating the ones you have.
and not eating the ones you have? You get back. We are hungry. This is food.
Maybe it only drinks the blood. That's why they go green.
Say we or we are hungry.
Can I gently walk up to the spider and like try and touch it with like, I'm trying to suss out if the green energy is in this creature or tied to this creature.
Absolutely love it. You've convinced it that that you're not harmful to it. So I'm gonna say, although it's kind of skittish, it's not going to put up much of a fight since it doesn't see you as a threat. What I will get you to do is roll me an Arcana check.
I'm gonna use my inspiration.
You can do whatever you need to do.
That's a 23.
Nice.
Okay.
That's a 7 to a 23. So
Ooh, that was a good use of it. From this creature in front of you, as you kind of focus into that burning, tingling sensation in your hand, you don't so much feel any connection the way you did with those green veins. But as close as you are, something you do notice from this creature, now that you can actually get a good look at it, is that this hair that you once thought was more of a charcoal, more of a like gray, as you got closer to it, is white. Not what you would kind of expect. You don't see any green like you wanted to, but you definitely see that the coloration doesn't appear normal.
it's good enough for me. I pull out a flask and I douse the spider with the contents of my flask. And I say, Apoc, light him up.
I don't have a fire, but
It was oil, by the way. I sprayed oil on the spider.
Yeah.
I mean, it might be on somebody with a torch. As I just draw back my bow and I step back cautiously from this beast.
Sir Basil, so you're holding the torch, right?
Yep.
Can Sir Basil quickly kind of just like run over, grab the torch from Miss Quillam and just woof.
Great.
As he lets go of the torch, I let go of my arrow.
Okay. All right. So this will be counted as a surprise round, but then everybody needs to roll some initiative.
I
after
love
this.
how shocked Georgina is right now.
Yeah.
What I was expecting to happen.
Miss Quillam's like, but she's her friend.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I feel like that description scares Cam enough that he,
Mhm.
something's off. It's not just a regular friendly spider.
That's awesome.
yeah, totally fair. All right. So first, let's deal with the surprise attack. Then we'll do some initiative here. So the oil gets doused. You are right up front. You can't really miss. Basil with the
Torch.
thank you. You're gonna throw it.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and make a ranged attack at advantage because it is by surprise.
How would I roll for that?
So do you have like an arrow? Just use whatever your bow and arrow attack is. Your plus whatever.
Oh,
Does everybody get advantage on their attacks? Because it's a surprise.
Oh, because you attacked as well.
Yeah, I loosed an arrow.
Yeah, the surprise rounds, I mean, you are at advantage in your surprise round, but that's about it. So go ahead and roll your arrow attack as well.
so that's 18.
18. Okay, you do hit. So instead of bludgeoning, what I'm going to get you to do is, it's just a torch. So I'm going to say roll a d6, but it'll be fire damage.
Okay.
And the thing will be on fire. Because of course it will.
That's a 6.
That's a 6? Okay. All right, and the thing is going to be on fire. Your arrow.
That's a 22, I think, to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
For 6 points of damage, and I want the swarm because everybody's up really close to it. I want to see if my swarm can push it away from these guys just to give them some room
Cool.
as it's now on fire.
What do I need to do?
Strength saving throw.
Saving throw.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it. 11.
11 is the save.
Okay.
So it resists, so it can stay if it
So it
chooses.
stays. Its sticky feet kind of stick into the ground as it stays stuck there. Now let's roll some initiative here.
Okay. Yeah, it's 11 save, and if you fail, I can push it 15 feet.
Whoa.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
If you have exhaustion, do you roll with disadvantage for initiative too?
Yeah, it's technically an ability check, I think.
Okay.
Eric can confirm that, actually. Okay.
No. 12 for me.
Okay, so Mrs. Q is at a 12. Basil.
16.
Apoc.
15.
Gam.
8.
Oh, okay. All right. So the surprise attack with the oil, the fire, the spider is on fire. It's not very happy, unfortunately. From where you guys are, right out of the gate, you see something appear kind of almost right on top of this column. Here, there we go. Right on top of the column, a little bit higher up, as long as you can see that. Sort of staring right above you. I'll make it bigger.
Ooh.
You see a second spider that looks extremely different from the first. This wicked almost, I did this one just for you, Eric. This wicked almost white-bodied, instead of the blue in this picture, you see like streaks of blue and green kind of along its belly, along its abdomen, sort of circling around. It's very creepy eyes, and it's very angular and pointy, very unnatural, as it looks all around at each of you and is going to do something.
Oh boy.
It's going to skitter straight down the trunk, the 30 feet it can. And as it kind of just like squeals in your direction, it's going to vanish once more.
Don't like that.
Dang. Okay.
The spider in front of you, the one that's kind of reeling and on fire at the top of its turn, it is going to take more. But let me put this in first. Okay. At the top of its turn, Basil, go ahead and roll another d6 for continued fire damage as it's trying very, very hard to kind of take the fire out or put it out.
That's another 6.
All right.
Nice.
This spider is going to kind of act on instinct almost, and is going to just bite out at the first thing that it can reach in front of it. Camembert, you are still there within its reach. And it's just going to use its pincers to try and grab you.
Let's go.
As that is an 18 to... Sorry, what did you say?
Yo, yeah. That
Yeah,
hits.
18 to hit. Oof. All right, you are going to take 7 points of piercing damage as these pincers almost blindly pierce into you. The scream of pain, and I'm going to need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Ooh. It's a 2.
Oh, buddy. All right. As these have pierced into you, you feel this as this poison releases from the giant spider's fangs. And you are going to take another 9 points of poison damage.
And you see me go down.
What? Oh my
At
god.
least he told us this time.
All right. You, as Camembert goes limp, one thing you do notice, Cam, is that, well, you wouldn't notice, but the rest of you, is that although he goes limp, he doesn't seem to be bleeding out the way he's done before. As you are stable, you are just paralyzed and poisoned.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Okay.
So no death saves for you, Cam.
It's like Frodo.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There was some heavy inspiration with this one.
I was hoping so.
Yeah.
All right, Basil, you are up as you see your friends kind of go limp in the talons. Nope. Fangs of this giant spider and the second spider vanishing.
Okay, so Basil's gonna whip out a sword. He's gonna come right up to the spider, almost as I assume because he's small enough, he can probably go almost right underneath it. And you know how like those sports where like they chuck logs,
Yeah.
right? So
Saber toss.
yeah,
Yeah.
imagine he's crouched down underneath the spider with his sword, and he kind of just like lunges up, almost as if he's throwing like a log, to kind of like try and like just stab up into the spider.
Oh, cool.
Perfect. All right, go ahead and make an attack.
Okay. That is a 19.
Absolutely hits.
Mhm.
Okay, and that's gonna do 8 damage, but because I made contact, as soon as the sword hits, you're gonna see kind of like
How about I just stop you right there for a second? Because as soon as the sword hits, you get covered in spider guts as the spider kind of squeals out, releases Camembert from his fangs, and just kind of crumbles in on itself as it is dead,
Okay, good.
letting out this scream of pain before it ultimately perishes. A scream that seems to kind of echo very
Ooh,
loudly
that's not good.
throughout the chamber.
Okay.
That is not good.
Anything else on your turn?
Sir Basil will just be kind of like, "Ugh, everyone keep watch. Another creature is hiding somewhere, and he'll use that as help for, I guess it was Apoc who's next. Yeah, so he'll catch
Don't do me. Don't do me.
He'll cast help on Mrs. Q then.
You look over at Apoc, he's just like shaking his head, like, no. Apoc's sitting there as
Yeah, you are next. As long as Basil's done, you're next.
Looking around as Basil says to keep watch, and he kind of pulls the swarm in closer again, just getting ready, and you start to see this bioluminescent tinge coming from the back of the swarms as they start to glow in preparation. I'm just gonna keep looking around the room and ready my action to cast Fairy Fire as soon as it appears.
Okay.
Specifically the blue-white one that disappeared. So I'm gonna ready that and end my turn.
Okay. All right. So ready to action. Mrs. Q, you are next.
Okay, so if I'm caught up, Dark Spider is dead.
Yeah.
Light Spider is still
We don't know where.
disappeared.
Yeah. And my help action gives you advantage. So in this
Okay.
case, it's just a normal roll because you had disadvantage.
Yeah, okay. And Cam is still on the ground, but would I know that he's poisoned? Like, would I be able to tell from where I am that he's not like regular level of unconscious?
So I'm going to say from where you are, because it's still dark, keep that in mind. You do have a soft glow from the torches as well as the walls, but from where you are on the map, you did just see Cam kind of go stiff and rigid and then just kind of like fall as the spider let him go. So he definitely looks a little bit rigid. Again, he doesn't look like he's bleeding out or anything, but not quite conscious.
Okay. I cast
Cam just isn't good with caves.
No. You guys need to stay out of them, please.
Like my whole plan was to buff my health before. Like that was my first move. Was like I need health, and didn't even make it to my turn.
Oh man.
Mrs. Q turns around and casts Healing Word at the 2nd level on Cam. So that's
Nice.
Does that work
Two-
for like being stunned or paralyzed or what?
I don't think it's going to heal the paralysis, but if he got to 0 health, then it'll help with that.
Yes.
So that will be 2d4 plus 2.
All right.
You want him to roll that or are you gonna roll that?
You can roll that because I'm rolling Garbo today.
All right. So Cam, as you feel this warm pink energy wash over you from Mrs. Q, you do heal.
7
And
points.
pardon?
7 points.
Okay, that's not bad.
You do actually feel like feeling come back into your fingertips as you just sort of try very hard to move. And although you're kind of stiff, seems like getting you back up in hit points. Your paralysis has worn off, but the pounding, the heartbeat in your head that just seems to make that headache from being so far underground worse is still kind of there as you do remain poisoned in this case.
Mrs. Q would have gone over to Cam to do all of this. So she would be next to him and would probably, once she's cast her spell, try and get like either beside or in front of him, somewhere between where he is and where I saw the other spider disappear last.
Well, tell me where you want to go.
Yeah, sure, that's fine.
All right. All right, so that ends Mrs. Q's turn. Back to consciousness, still feeling that pounding in your head. Camembert, you are up.
I am. You start to see my eyes glow green, and that veiny kind of skin tone that you saw in the strig starts to work its way down the back of my neck as I start to gain some temporary hit points. Okay, cool.
All right.
And then I'm going to move over to. Mrs. Q is with me. I'll think I'll stay there. Yep, that'll be my turn.
All right. Okay, so that ends Cam's turn. Back up at the top of the order. Let's see. All right, back up at the top of the order as everyone is just rushing to help Cam, leaving Apoc a little bit on your own.
Mm-hmm.
As you're really trying to look around Apoc, you see the face of the spider appear right in front of yours as it screams into your face. Your fairy fire does go off.
Okay, dex save 11.
Okay. Although I did get a surprise on you because you didn't see it coming. But
I mean, I don't think order events happens. It doesn't matter.
yeah, it doesn't matter. Okay, it goes off. Dex 11. Yeah, it's gonna make that
Reaction.
18.
Sorry to bug you.
20.
Sorry to bug you, but we're over here, and I'm going to use silvery barbs as my reaction on it.
And that's a disadvantage on the roll.
Yes.
Okay. I hate that one so much. Still pretty good.
I was going to use my inspiration to have it reroll.
Okay, that's a 17, so it's gonna reroll again.
Well, is it disadvantage? Because if it's...
I rolled a disadvantage, it's a 17 at disadvantage.
But, okay. So then inspiration at disadvantage?
Can you use your inspiration for somebody else to reroll?
Mm-hmm.
Sure, okay. So one more roll.
At disadvantage?
Hey, hold on.
Is that it?
Eric, is silvery barbs a reroll or is it like a whole other roll just at disadvantage?
Yeah. That's what I wanted to.
You trigger its momentary uncertainty into encouragement for another creature. The triggering creature must reroll and use the lower roll.
Okay, so the lower roll was
Okay.
17 then.
Okay, yeah. I don't know if it counts double then.
Because that's already at disadvantage.
Yeah. I'll leave it up to you. It's probably just a straight roll.
Because inspiration is kind of like lucky,
It's just
I would
reroll,
say.
yeah.
So yeah, just one single roll and then it'll be the lowest.
Yeah, I only thought that because I thought Eric was giving it disadvantage. Is it being 11?
So that's an 8.
Hey!
Oh,
Okay.
All right.
Fairy fire.
So because it does pop up in my face, I'm assuming I'm also within that 20-foot square that is fairy fire.
Is it centered on you?
Well, it was on the beast, so I mean that's what I was waiting for, right?
Centered on the beast?
I'm pretty sure we're all within.
It's a 20-foot cube, so I guess 10 foot from the beast would be
Okay, so we're kind of like just on the outside of it.
yeah.
So
10,
the beast is large. Like
Yeah.
the beast is quite big. You could probably just get the beast and not anybody else,
Okay.
unless you were purposefully trying to
Nope.
get somebody else.
no, but it's just the beast then. Fantastic.
Okay. What's fairy fire again?
It just means we have advantage on it and it can't go invisible.
Boom! I love it. Yes.
It's strictly invisible.
The creature or object cannot benefit from being invisible.
Okay.
Is the key. And I guess order of operation does matter because then if it hits me next, I don't know what plays out first. If it hits me, then I have to roll a con save to see if it stays up. So I don't know what happens first.
Okay, well it does get its attack.
Yeah.
And you didn't see it coming, so it
Okay.
does get its attack right away.
Okay. So if I didn't see it, then I assume it probably
It's-
happened first.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Like
Yeah.
you didn't see it coming, so it's technically hidden, so it's technically at advantage.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
I'm not arguing that. That's I'm fully aware I'm probably gonna get hit.
So it's gonna make a bite attack at you for a 19 to hit.
I'm going to reaction.
Okay.
Spiny shield.
What does that do again?
When you're hit by a melee, the barrier reduces the damage you're dealt by 2d4. So how much damage does it do?
So it'd be 7 piercing.
Reduced by 5.
Woo!
Okay, so 2 piercing to you.
And deals the same amount of damage to the attacker. So it takes 5, and I take 2.
Okay.
Nice.
So it almost grabs onto a spine, and you see one spine poke out from its cheek? Cheek? Question mark? As it just sort of bit into you, kind of rears back. But as it has bitten into you. I need a con save, my friend.
Oof, that's not good. That's not bad. It's 14.
14. All right. You take. All right. On a 14, you do take 7 points of poison damage, but you're able to shake off any paralysis or poisoned effect.
7 points of poison. So I am resistant to poison as a Apoc.
Okay.
So is that only 3?
3 points.
Yeah.
Whoa, nice.
Apoc. Yay, trash pandas.
Yay, trash pandas. All right. So it used its bonus action.
Man.
Its action was to bite you, and it's going to kind of like sort of stay in range of you, seeing that it was able to bite and do some damage to you, and feeling that the poison may or may not have worked in its favor. Sir Basil, seeing this monstrosity come into play, you are up next.
Okay. So Basil's going to turn around because I assume he was like facing forward because of the beast, the other beast. He's going to turn around and he's just going to like jump into action. So he's going to jump back so that he's almost like, I guess, on top of this thing. But I imagine like he's going to jump and almost like Sonic the Hedgehog spin in the air to like slash down. But as he's doing it, he's just like spraying this thing with the guts of its comrade, just like spider guts all over, and he's gonna slash down on this thing.
Perfect. Go ahead and make an attack roll. I need a con save to hold up fairy fire.
And this is with advantage, correct?
Your damage. Yes, it's at advantage.
Damage before or after?
Before.
Before. Okay.
My mistake, sorry.
That's okay.
So that's a 16.
16 hits.
Ooh, okay. And that's gonna do 11 damage. I guess slashing damage.
Slashing damage?
But not because it hits, unless you want to do something.
No, go ahead. It's not that easy.
As soon as it hits, you're gonna see like a light appear right where the sword hits this monster. And Basil's gonna cast his fire rune. And you're gonna see as soon as it hits, there's gonna be like a light where the sword contacts the spider, and then like spots of light around the spider just emit from the floor, and these fiery chains gonna shoot up and just grapple this thing. And it's gonna take. So first, I'll need you to do. Hold on. You hit a creature, you can invoke the runes far shackles. Target takes them. Okay, so first it's going to take an extra 8 damage, and then I need it to roll a strength saving throw.
Strength? Okay. I don't think it's going to make it. That's an 11.
Oh, okay. So now it is like fully shackled and restrained for 1 minute. And every turn it can re-roll to break out. Otherwise, it takes another 2d6 damage.
All right.
Damn.
Not great. Not great. So it's, did you say restrained?
Yeah.
Fairy fire's the worst. All right. Anything else on your turn, Basil?
I'm gonna once again yell out to Mrs. Q, strike it hard. I can cast help.
Again?
Yep. It's a bonus action.
Oh, okay.
I love how on Mrs. Q's turn, she's going to have advantage from 3 different things
Yeah,
on this target.
Yeah, I don't. Okay.
So Apoc, you are up. Mrs. Q, you're on deck.
Right. Okay. Cool.
Okay, it's restrained and it's still right in front of me. I'm just going to pull out my spear and lunge it as deep as I can into the
Thorax?
Thorax. Is it thorax?
The thorax is its tummy.
I probably can't
Thorax
reach
is
its tummy.
chest.
I guess it would be its upper thorax. Yeah, so I'm just gonna make an attack into it.
Oh my gosh, restraint is advantage, fairy fire is advantage.
Yeah. That's a 16 to hit.
Yeah, that.
And with that, I'm also going to add my swarm to the damage of it as well. So that is, it's pretty good. 10 points of, well, first one's piercing damage. The second one is, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's still piercing damage. 10 points of piercing damage.
Yeah.
Total.
As you all wail on the spider, it's trying so hard to break out, to kind of invoke its ability to get out of this mess, letting out one kind of ear-splitting, paralyzing scream that brings you to your knees as you scream out, or as it screams out. It does fall, and just from behind the pillar, you hear an answering scream, or so it appears.
Not good.
From something that seems to be responding to the death of its friend, buddy.
Oof.
A little bit difficult to tell. Anything else on your turn, Apoc?
Is it dead?
It is dead.
Hey guys, we did it.
Nobody responds.
Hello, friend.
So Basil just kind of climbs up maybe on top of the spider and is just like, ugh. Maybe his cape billows and to shake off the slime or guts.
Oh yeah, that's right, because you have that billowing cape.
Should we prepare ourselves for the next one? Like, we hear it coming?
You definitely heard some answering screams.
I'm just gonna pull an arrow back.
From where in the map? Like in the top right corner, or?
So you're in a very big cavern, and these screams are kind of echoing. You can't quite pinpoint where it is. But as you're trying to sort of understand where it might be, you see one of the same spiders as before kind of starting to creep its way around, pulling in one direction, as a second one. I just need to pull it onto the map here. Give me a second.
Oh,
You can turn
man.
this one upside down,
There we go.
or right side up.
Well, it's part of the map now if you want to use it for whatever reason.
That's
As a
fair.
second one seems to come along the other side, responding to the death wails of this
Oh man,
these
the,
critters.
the blue one was polyamorous. Hello, friends.
All right. So as these two come around and join the fray, they don't quite have enough movement to make it to you, but you definitely see that they are here and ready to do some damage. Mrs. Q, you are up.
Mrs. Q, seeing,
Fully decked out with advantage.
fully decked out with advantage, is going to do something that doesn't require a roll. Sorry.
Love it.
At least I don't think it does. Mrs. Q is going to cast Bane on the two
Nice.
spiders that she sees.
All right.
So they have to make a charisma saving throw.
Charisma.
Yes.
What's the DC?
12.
Well, one of them rolled a natural 18,
Damn.
minus 3.
Wow.
So that one succeeds.
Okay.
The other one super fails.
Excellent.
So this one here, that one there is Bane.
Nice.
Okay. That's disadvantage on attack rolls and saving throws. No, sorry, not disadvantage. You roll a d4 and you subtract the number.
Got it. Baby boy, just stop.
Yes.
How did you know it was me?
I know it's you, Sean. All right. Anything else on your turn, Mrs. Q?
Do I even have like reactions or anything? I don't. Bonus actions. Oh, actually, that's considered a bonus action. I take a sweep of my comrades. Does any of them look particularly bad?
Comrades, do any of you look particularly bad?
Or scrapes.
Yeah, you could say I'm perfectly back to full vitality.
Okay. Okay, in which case,
Right?
Mrs. Q just like, well then, yeah, she's done. That's what she's done.
All right.
Well, I mean, you
With
can.
that,
you wanna
Cam,
move?
you're up.
I'm cool.
I was contemplating doing the Hello Friends. I'm gonna just run. Yeah, if I can run up here. 1 second. Is hide a bonus action? Yeah, I'm gonna take a bonus action hide
Okay.
if I'm able to, and then ready my action so when it comes by, I stab it with a dagger.
Cool. Okay. Go ahead and roll a stealth check for hide.
Okay.
You can hide behind the big root.
As you yeah. So this is that column of that white stone that's sort of offset from one another as you try and tuck behind one of the protrusions.
That is a nat 20.
Nice.
Total of 27.
Yeah, you feel pretty darn hit from a spider at this point.
This is a crazy
Stabby, stabby
battle.
on, baby boy.
Crazy battle.
All right, and as you do so, Veiny Boy, as he comes screaming around, I guess you can't really see it in the process of me moving it,
Yeah,
but
we can see it.
as he comes screaming around, go ahead and take your attack of opportunity, Cannon Bear.
Yeah, maybe with my
'Cause
dagger.
He definitely did not see you.
With my dagger and why is that not going? All right, so that will be 24.
Yes, that absolutely hits.
So that'll be 7 plus sneak attack, 14 points of damage. And if it continues to move, it'll take another D8.
Nice.
Oh, do you have like booming blade and stuff going? Damn. All right. That's unfortunate because that was only half its movement, so it was still gonna move.
Oh man.
I don't know if
Yeah, it was gonna make its way over to its fallen comrade with Mrs. Q still there. How far out of your range does it need to go, Cam?
5 feet.
Okay. It's quite large. I think it's still probably within your melee range where it is. But because it's so big, it's kind of like its butt is towards you as it goes to try and bite as Mrs. Q, the one closest to its fallen comrade.
Cool with that.
So it is going to take a swipe at you, Mrs. Q. I don't think it's going to hit for a, 14.
No way.
All right. As it tries to just take a stab of rage at you, like bleeding from its abdomen, it goes wide, unfortunately for me. As you kind of just like use your quarterstaff to deflect it. But it is in your face and really pissed. Basil, you are up.
What do I want to do? Let me think. I am going to. Okay. All right. So I'm on top of this fallen spider. I'm gonna pull out some arrows. I'm gonna stab it in the ground, and then I'm just gonna take out my bow and get kind of do like a one long shot at the other spider who's further back.
That's not Baby Boy.
Yes.
Okay.
How do you reach the other guy?
Well, I can see him,
Is that? Oh, it's okay.
and so it's gonna be a long shot. Yes.
Okay, got it.
So sticks his arrows in the ground, takes his bow up, picks one up, strings it, and lets one loose at not Baby Boy.
All right, go for it.
Okay.
Baby Boy.
And this is just normal, right? There's no advantage on this.
There's no advantage on this. No. You guys use all of the advantage on the cool one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Am I allowed to give you
There's
my
not
help?
another one.
Like, any of the helps?
No.
Okay.
That's 8.
You could use your inspiration and reroll.
Yeah, I'm going to use my inspiration for
All right.
that. Is that interference?
Interference!
Yeah? Is
Yes,
Atlanta
it's
kinda halfway?
interference.
Okay. A 13.
As your arrow kind of grazes off of the exoskeleton of this spider, it just misses.
Okay, I'm gonna do action surge. So I pick up my next arrow, string it, and I try and do another. That's 18.
18. That the second arrow lands true as you make the effort to try again.
That's a D8.
Mhm.
That's gonna do 7 damage.
Okay.
And
All right.
he's just gonna then yell out. Well, was that a bonus action to do that?
Your action surge?
Yeah. Is it?
You just the other.
Okay. So then after that, he's gonna yell out, "Hit him hard!" To Apoc, and he has help.
Cool.
All right. And with that, Apoc, you are up next.
I'm just gonna look over at Cam and Q and be like, "You guys good? Can you handle that one? Yeah." Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look over and following suit, towering over Sir Basil, just shadowing him from behind. You see a second figure pull back a longbow and just start sending arrows into not Baney Boy.
All right.
Um,
Go ahead.
That's with advantage.
Yes.
That's 2 9s. It's not the greatest, but it is +6. It's a 15.
Yeah, that
15, just
Yeah.
barely.
just barely, as
Yeah.
both land true, or one lands true.
Yeah, and using the swarm as well for assistance on the shot, it's going to be 8 points of piercing damage.
Okay. As the spider now has three arrows from longbows sticking out of its abdomen, one kind of sticking in the side of its head. Anything else on your turn, Apoc?
I just want to give Basil a high five. Yeah.
All right, you give Basil a high five. And as you do, this spider kind of lets out a scream, sort of gesturing around, kind of looking behind the column, looking to the walls, looking behind the column before it skitters to try and close the distance between you and them. I don't have actually a map on here, eh? Was here. Where's days?
Trying to measure the amount
Yeah.
of daces. There's a ruler thing.
I don't know if it's going to be super accurate or not.
30 feet.
Actually, yeah, it's pretty accurate. As it kind of swings around, trying very hard to get to the guys who just shot them, realizing it's not going to be able to as it makes it really just to there. It's going to almost furiously kind of turn its butt to you and is going to try and shoot a web and entangle and restrain you. And it's going to go for whoever's in front.
Man, these guys are nothing but
Which-
webs and poison.
Which would be me.
Whap, whap,
Yeah,
whap.
I was shadowing from behind him.
Yeah, it would be Basil. I don't know what you said, Cam.
I said these guys are nothing but webs and poison. These WAP spiders.
Jesus.
Boy. Ooh, that's going to be a 16 to hit, Basil.
Yep.
All right. You are, as the web hits you, this very sticky, what you cut down already, you are kind of instantly restrained as it holds your arms to your side. Yeah, you don't take any damage, but you definitely find yourself kind of stuck to the corpse of the spider underneath you, sort of unable to move as this web just has pinned you down for right now.
Okay. Okay, so I'm like pinned to the ground.
So yeah, I think you're pinned to the ground. Whatever was underneath you, you kind of got like tied up in this web and just are fully restrained.
Are we on top of the other spider?
I think you guys were on top or behind or something like that.
I was standing on top of it.
Yeah, so it definitely pinned you to whatever was underneath you. So maybe you're swimming in spider guts.
Am I pinned like my back is to the ground, or am I just like stuck to the ground?
So let's see. It doesn't knock you over, you're standing, but you are fully restrained. You cannot move, you have no speed.
Okay.
But it is not quite your turn yet, so I'll let you think on that.
I have a like reaction thing that I can do.
Oh, if you have a reaction, depending on what it is.
Anytime a creature ends their turn within 30 feet of me, I can possibly do something.
Okay. It could only move 30 feet from where it was. Yeah, I would say it's probably within. Is the ruler good?
Well, what's the range on its web attack?
It's 30. It would have been within 30 feet because it was 30 to 60. So yeah, it's within 30 feet of you. Oh, cool. Look at that.
Yeah, the ruler's not bad.
Yeah, so it's within 30 feet of you, Basil. What are you going to do?
You're going to see, oh man, like, because I'm restrained, how do I want to do this? Maybe like seeing like he's restrained, he just kind of like gives it like this death stare and he's going to cast Stone Ruin on this guy. And they've got to do a wisdom saving throw.
Jeez Louise. Okay. I mean, it's a spider. 16.
Okay, yeah, they're fine.
Okay.
If they had failed, they would have been essentially, they would have fallen into a dreamy stupor and not been able to do anything. This is what we did in Mayplock.
Oh, to Brom? That's hilarious. Well, the spider is a little bit chunkier than Brom then, as it's able to just, I guess from the fact that its butt was facing you when it shot its web, it doesn't quite land.
Gotcha.
Mrs. Q.
So
Cam, you're on deck.
Baby Boy is right in front of me.
Baby Boy is right in front of you.
So after he tried to nip me, I whip out my frying pan and I whip him on the head.
That's like,
All right.
right on the, yeah.
Right on the top of his noodle. Go for it.
Do I still have help from the times that you cast help on me? Or does it have to be used in that turn?
that turn, I believe.
Yeah?
Well, it's just help. So I assume it's for that turn.
It's just that round, yeah. So I think it's done for right now.
Okay. So let's see, how does this work? So I still have exhaustion, so I still have to roll with disadvantage.
Not for attacks.
Not for attacks.
It's
No,
just
not
it's
for
just
attacks.
ability checks.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna
Do it.
I'll use this one. It's fine. Oh my goodness! I'm so excited to use my master pen.
This is the picture of exhaustion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm using my inspiration.
Yeah.
Do it.
Oh, that's so disappointing. It's an 8.
You gotta like, see, look at
I did.
that. What did
You
you
need
roll?
a jail, Georgina. You need a jail.
Ew. It was an 8.
Unfortunately, in the excitement to use your brand new frying pan, there's a little apprehension about getting it dirty. So you maybe purposefully swing a little bit wide so you don't get spider guts all over it. Cannon Bear, you are up. I don't think Mrs. Q is capable of doing anything else at this point in time.
If I'm like behind it, I'm just gonna nice and simple. I'm gonna grab my dagger, swing it around, take deadly aim, and just start stabbing into its. Wait, let me go to the
The diagram.
the diagram into its spinneret and just start
All right.
slamming into it because that's the closest thing to me.
Nice.
Go for it.
That'll be a 7.
7 to hit.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
it goes a little bit wide. Hits off that
all right.
exoskeleton.
That's okay. That's my turn.
All right. Not Dace. All right. As Mrs. Q has swung and missed, and Cam has swung and missed on poor little Baney boy here, he is going to, being a little too close to. Well, you did just try and hit him in the little spinnerets. But you're a little too close. So instead, he's just going to go with what he knows, and he's going to try and make another bite attack at Mrs. Q, who's like right in his face still. Ooh, but it's with Bane. So it's going to be a dirty 20 to hit you, Mrs. Q. All right, so you are going to take 7 points of piercing damage as the fangs finally make contact with you. And I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, Mrs. Q.
That is with disadvantage, right? A saving throw?
No.
No, it's just ability checks for your exhaustion.
Okay. Was a con save?
Yeah.
Constitution.
5.
It's okay now.
Georgina, get rid of that dice. Georgina, get rid of the dice.
Try rolling on the table.
It's the COVID.
Try
I
rolling.
don't think you've rolled above a 10, girl.
Nope.
All right, so that is going to be another 9 points as you also feel the heartbeats kind of in your head as the poison starts to take over your veins. Are you still up?
Mm-hmm. Just.
Okay. You still have the freedom in your limbs to kind of move, even though you feel this like blackness just start to pump through you. Basil, you are up.
So you said I'm restrained.
You are restrained.
Would it take I guess it would take a full action to like try and like break out.
You would have to make a strong boy check to try and break out of here for your action.
Oh, sorry, what?
You'd have to make a strength check as your action if you're going to try and break out of the webbing, unless you have a more creative way to do so.
Let me see. No, I don't think I can do anything. Okay. I guess I'll try and break out.
All right, go ahead and make a strength check.
Okay. So it's just plus that, right?
Yep.
Oh, yeah,
No,
that's
that's just a nat. That's just a 1.
that's a 1.
A 1
That's
is a
crit
1.
fail.
That's a 1.
Yep.
You, well, with a nat 1, since we're doing fun things with nat 1s, as you try and break out, you manage to almost get the webbing like tighter around yourself as you're trying to just wiggle and move. It seems to be like almost corseting you as it gets tighter and tighter and tighter to your armor. You get the feeling it might be a little bit harder next time to try and break this out.
Okay. Cool.
Unfortunately. You only have a bonus action.
You know what I should have did? I should have done that.
What's that? Yeah, you should have done that.
Such an idiot.
What's up?
So I have an ability called Giant's Might where I grow in size. So I become if I'm small, I become large. and then it gives me advantage on strength checks and strength saving throws. It's like just because I didn't read the full description.
It's funny because it's called Giant Smite, but from as far away as I am on your computer, it looks like Girls' Night.
That's the same thing. I see no difference.
Yeah.
So instead, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna yell out. I'm gonna say that Apoc. I'll say something like, "Oh, these dang webs! Aim true and hit them hard." I just keep saying these quotes of like, "Go for it, strike true."
It's so Basil. It's okay. It's
Yeah.
I imagine Basil doing.
And I cast help again.
You're just super cliche.
I put down my bow for a second, just pull up my dagger from my hip. Not gonna aim that true, and I just slice through his webs.
All right.
Trying to pull him out.
You're gonna make an attack roll. His webs, please.
With
Your dagger.
is it with his help?
With advantage?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Help action, absolutely.
It's a 16 plus 4, dirty 20.
Yeah, that absolutely hits.
Can I lift him up as well? With
How much damage can you do with your?
with my
daggers?
dagger, that's 1d4 plus 2. 1 plus. Can I add my swarm to this?
Yeah, you want to.
That is 3. Wait, no. 1 plus 2 is 3, plus 3 is 6.
You do just enough damage to this webbing to get Basil out and are able to pull him free as you needed to be able to do 5 damage to get him out of here. But Basil, you are now free as you just take a breath.
Yeah.
Making sure that you have your freedom of movement once more.
Cool.
So that was Apoc.
Yeah. Can I with my movement pull him up, or is that an action to
He's still
lift something?
standing.
Oh, he's still standing.
He
Okay.
wasn't prone.
Perfect.
He was standing, just kind of like frozen in place.
Perfect.
Yeah,
that's my turn.
all right. Now, not Veiny Boy, seeing that you have successfully gotten rid of his webbing, not too happy about that. And is going to what's he gonna do? Doesn't quite have visual on camera, Mrs. Q, because they are kind of hidden by the corpse of his brethren. He's going to take the time to kind of run up the 30 feet and is going to attack the first person that's there, which I believe is still. Roll off. I need you two to roll me a d6, please.
I mean, I'm fine being in front. I would have kind of cut you out anyways from where the web started. So I'm assuming the web was kind of holding your arms, right?
Yeah, it was restraining me.
Yeah, so I would have been in front of you.
You would have been in front, so
Yeah,
it's
I'll
going to
say
attack
that.
you then.
Yeah.
As it kind of comes in and he's not veined. That's a natural 20.
Yeah, I mean, that'll hit. I'm going to react and use my shield again.
Okay.
To reduce it by 2d4.
Okay.
So I don't know if you want to roll your damage.
I'm taking whatever is here just so I don't get too confused. So it's 14 damage.
Minus 3.
Minus 3. So 11 piercing.
Okay.
And it takes
The 3.
3.
Yeah.
And I need you to make a con save.
Yeah, that's fine. So I do. It's a poison.
That was poison. Or sorry, that was piercing.
Yeah, this is poison.
Poison.
So I have an advantage against poison for saves.
Okay.
So that's going to be 15 is the highest.
Okay. So as the fangs pierce into you, you do feel the pressure. You're able to kind of shake it off. You do still take 4 poison damage.
Which
on
I have
save.
resistance to.
So 2.
So 2. I'll jump in front of all of these bullets. Oof.
But you're still able to compose yourself. It didn't bring you to 0, did it?
No.
Okay.
No.
Oh, look at that. You can see in real time. as the character health updates on the.
Oh,
so
that's
cool.
awesome. They changed it?
On the beta, the tracker. Sorry.
Man, I wish we had that.
That's so cool. All right. As you're now face to face with this giant spider. Moving on. Mrs. Q, you are up.
Okay. Right. Mrs. Q.
Cam, you're on deck.
What's that swing your point again?
No, I'm not. I think I'm going to try to cast. Actually, wait.
If it doesn't understand your language.
I can speak to bugs, so it's fine.
Too much power in that.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Yeah,
Or flee.
I would rather kill it than it run away. I cast command at Baby Boy.
Command, okay.
Yes, because I can speak to bugs, so I can give it a command word.
Okay, let me take a quick look here. I like it. Because, yeah, you can speak with bugs. Is your command word an action? Like an actual physical?
I mean, I imagine I would have to communicate it like an action.
Okay.
The command word that I'm communicating is to, I guess,
What's your one word command?
grovel.
Okay, speak with bugs. Through sounds and gestures, you can communicate simple ideas with creatures of the beast subtype. And then command. I like it. I just want to make sure we're not bending things a little too much that I'll regret it later. Take a one-word command to a creature. You can see the target will succeed. Spells no effect if the target is undead or if it doesn't understand your language. I like it. I think that makes sense that you can communicate simple ideas. It's a one-word idea in a language that it can understand. I'm digging it. What's the save?
12 wisdom.
Wisdom?
Baby boy.
And it's the banged one? Yeah, it doesn't even matter. It fails.
Beautiful. It falls prone in front of me.
Its legs just like.
Yep, just precisely.
Wait, it does that on its turn. So it's up right now, but on its turn, it will use its action to split.
It says the target falls prone and then ends its turn. So when its turn starts, it falls prone and then the turn is over.
So it uses its action to complete the command.
Got it. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then am I allowed to cast Healing Word on myself?
Yeah, absolutely.
Great. Then I will use my, hang on, I need to keep track of this. I will use my bonus action to cast Healing Word on myself. Yeah. At the first level. Yes.
All right. All right, so as Mrs. Q takes a moment to heal, Camembert, you are up.
Hey, Mrs. Q, what did you just tell the spider to do?
Apologize.
Oh, well, I can wait for its apology, and I delay my turn until it takes its turn.
All right, sounds good. So actually, it's its turn as the spider just and splays out all of its 8 legs, seemingly taken by surprise, and ends its turn, Camembert.
And then I'll stab it.
Yeah.
At advantage because it's prone.
Yep. That's a 23.
Absolutely hits.
So good.
Love command.
Yeah, so that'll, so if I have 2 advantages and 1 disadvantage, do I still get the advantage roll?
I don't think they stack. I think it's just like advantage.
The advantage cancels out the disadvantage. And then do I get I'll just leave it at that. 23. Look it up after.
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying.
I think it's just you can't have stacked advantage. I think it's just you have it or you don't.
I think it's all or nothing, but I'll look it up.
Yeah.
But you absolutely hit.
17 points of damage.
Ooh, baby boy.
How do you want to kill baby boy, Camembert?
I would like, so as it like leans over to grovel, I want to make it look like I'm crawling over it with my eyes glowing green, like the green glow off of my body as I just come in and stab it. And like from Mrs. Q's perspective, she just sees me rolling over it towards her as the thing tumbles underneath me.
Amazing.
All right, as baby boy is slain.
Flip him.
All right, Basil, you are up face to face. Well, actually, with Apoc in the way at not baby boy.
Okay. I'm going to use Giant's Might.
Girls' night.
Girls'
Yeah.
All
night.
right.
Girls'
I'm going
night.
to use Girl's Might, and Sir Basil's just all of a sudden going to grow. So in his case, because he's like extra small, he's going to grow like large. And so maybe like Apoc would see it as like all of a sudden like there's just a shadow casting over him or something.
Love it.
And then Basil's going to step to the side and just going to like with his sword just lunge right at not Baby Boy's face.
Okay, go for it.
Okay. All right, let's hope I hit. Whew. That's a 12.
It's a little, seems to be a little bit cramped in this corner as you're right up against the wall of the cave, and your attack unfortunately goes wide on not baby boy.
Okay.
It's okay.
Man.
What?
No, it's just like, oh man, I wanted to like hit it so bad. So maybe what I'll do then, since I miss, Sir Basil's just gonna like scream in this thing's face.
Just
Like, "Ah!" and like use it almost like a quick way to startle it, and that'll give health advantage to Apoc.
All right, sounds good. As you scream, it screams back. And Apoc, you are up.
Well, it seems about as good a time as any to figure out what these things do as I reach down to my bandolier of potions and pull out the one that feels fiery to the touch. And chug that one back.
Okay. The one that feels fiery to the touch.
Yeah, hot to the touch, I think is what you wrote.
Let me pull up your.
Looks like liquid fire and is hot to the touch.
Okay. Okay, as you looks like liquid fire and is hot to the touch. Okay. Okay, as you you pull out this potion, you go ahead and chug it. It kind of feels like Fireball, the whiskey. It's a whiskey, cinnamon whiskey. As you drink it, and I guess all of you, because the other spider is dead, you slowly start to see as Apoc's fur and his armor just starts to emit this light. As you are now a beacon of light.
Oh, cool. All right. I was hoping for fire breath, but
Yeah, I was mad because like you joined it and you start screaming in his face too. But
I was gonna be like, ah! Is that my action?
So it's a potion. Potions are bonus actions here.
Okay, I'm just gonna stab it and be like, ah!
since he's just bright light, is not Danny Boy like blinded by it?
Not this particular potion.
Okay.
Yeah. I stab it with my spear. It's 18 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
And I'm going to well, I'm gonna roll my damage first,
Okay.
but I'm gonna use the swarm to push it 15 feet. So it's gonna need to roll a strength 11 saving throw. It's the spear damage is just a D8, so it's 4 points of damage.
Okay. And a strength save.
Yeah, a strength save 11.
Yes, this is not Veiny Boy. That's a 17.
Damn it, succeeds. I think yeah, strength 0. Yeah, that's my turn.
All right. As you are now a softly glowing beacon of light, stabbing into the spider, both of you screaming at the spider screaming back at you. And it is now the spider's turn, as it is going to, kind of on its last legs, it is going to try and take down one of you with it, as it's kind of bleeding out from its abdomen, and it's going to go for Apoc again, the more manageable prey, as opposed to the giant gerbine that just blew up in the middle of nowhere. And it's going to try and attack you again with its bite, Apoc.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think an 8 hits you, though.
Nope.
As it tries unsuccessfully to bite you. I'm feeling just a little bit stuck. Yeah, it's going to kind of act on impulse. Feeling just a little bit stuck, it's going to try and skitter up the walls. Whoops. Skitter up the walls. Nope. Okay. It's going to try and move past you and skitter up the walls. You can both take an opportunity attack if you want.
Nice.
That's a 10. It's not going to hit.
Okay. Misses. Goes wide.
That is a 23.
Woo!
That definitely hits.
And that's going to be 11 damage.
11. As it tries to leap over you to get to where it needs to go, that's not 111, and try and escape you by going up to the roof, you're able to kind of mid-jump cleave it directly in half, showering Apoc in spider guts underneath you.
Cool.
That's so cool.
As it seems like you've successfully been able to clear out the spider's nest at the end of this cavern.
Yeah.
And unless there's any final things you wanted to say, we'll pick up there next time because we're already after 10.
That was fab.
That's one hell of a girls' night.
Yeah.